My name is Sarah Rae. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Happy St. Patrick's Day. So I like St. Patrick's Day just because it gives me a reason to go all green out. So green is my favorite color. Purple is actually a close second. It is really close. I mean, I adore purple. But green has always been my favorite color forever, since I was like really little. I like St. Patrick's Day just because it gives me a reason to wear green. But I mean, I don't need a reason. I can wear it anytime I want to, but you get what I mean. Did you guys wear green today? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear if you guys did. So let's talk about what we're doing today. I'm going to give you guys tips on how to work through an anxiety attack. So that is what we're doing today. I hope you guys are ready. Let's jump into it. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications of when I upload, and let's get talking about it. So first, I do want to say that I have made a video before on anxiety, all about the information and the in-depth look about anxiety disorder as a whole. So that video will be linked in the description box down below if you want to take a look at that first or after. If you feel like you want a better understanding at what anxiety is, it'll be there for you. But for the sake of this video, I do want to make it more of understanding for somebody who's just looking for tips and kind of just wants to pick up a few understanding moments and make this more cohesive. I will be giving some key points about anxiety disorder to flow better into the tips part, which will be coming up shortly. The tips will be about how to get through the anxiety attack part of this disorder. So first of all, anxiety, it's pretty much the sense of anticipation of trouble, danger, or threat. And some of the most common symptoms are things like feeling nervous, increased heart rate, hyperventilation, sweating, trembling, and obsessively thinking about the trigger. And most people, they actually need psychotherapy and or medication to better manage their anxiety disorder. Also, lifestyle change can really help, as well as learning strategies to help manage your anxiety disorder, to learn better what to do when anxiety starts to come on, which is kind of what we're doing here today. Now let's lead to the tips portion of the video. Number one is being active. Really increasing your heart rate. Getting active is a great way not only to improve your health physically but also mentally, because when you are doing good as a whole, everything just, you feel better. When it's all one. When you sleep better, you eat better, you're feeling better physically, your mental health is going to improve. It's a cycle, really. Exercising is a mood booster and a stress reducer, as well as yoga. The reason routine and stuff like this is good for you when it comes to anxiety is because better stress levels, so reducing your stress with things like routine and exercise, yoga, things like this, it improves your mental health with more relaxed time, and that lowers your anxiety levels. Number two is no alcohol or recreational drugs. I know the alcohol part, that sucks because I'm Italian, so I love my wine. I'm a wino. Shouldn't be proud to say that, but I'm like my sisters. We all drink wine. Dinner time, got a glass of wine. So I say this because it actually can make your anxiety worse because of the effect they have on your body. Number three is meditation. So again, it's kind of like what I was saying with the yoga. When you're meditating, you are relaxed, you are in the moment, you are feeling your breath. You are letting go of everything around you. You are just in the moment. And there's actually a quote, I have it pulled up, and it says, if you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. So that is very important, and I can't stress that enough, that is absolutely true. So we just need to remember that and try to work better on being in the moment and not thinking so much in the past or the future. So number 4 is sleep. Sleep is so important because if you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to feel good physically. That affects you mentally. Sleep is so important. It's actually one of the most important things. When that's out of whack, you're out of whack. Like, sleep, absolutely important. That's kind of not really a big tip, and that's not much that is going to help you when it comes to the actual attack part. Some of these aren't, but starting with these main things is going to help to control and lessen. So the lifestyle change part and what I was talking about earlier, these are going to kind of help make those attacks lessen the frequency of the attacks. So tips, I love to journal. So journaling can actually help pinpoint what a lot of your triggers are. If you journal, you see a lot of what the outline of things that are happening, what is causing this, and this to happen, and pinpoint all your triggers and all the things that need to be changed. Journaling is so important. Shouldn't change how old you are. I still journal. A lot of people journal that are adults. So the next one is a big thing. It is called the 3-3-3 rule. So let me explain it. You name 3 things you see wherever you are. You name 3 things you hear, and you move 3 body parts. And this can help lower your anxiety when you're in an attack because you are so focused on those 3 things that you are doing, that you're trying to do. Name 3 things you hear, name 3 things you see, and then moving 3 body parts. You're so focused on that, it's going to bring that attack down. Also, slowly breathing, trying to get that breath under control, yet it's very hard, but finding a way to slow that breathing is going to be the most important thing when it comes to an anxiety attack that you need to do. The next one is one that I absolutely love to do, and it's called the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. So 5 is 5 things you see, so you name 5 things you see. 4 is name 4 things you can touch. So like right now, I can touch my lamp, I can touch my salt rock, I can touch my headphones, and I can touch my camera. So number 3 is 3 things you can hear. So you would name 3 things you can hear. 1, I can hear a car passing by. 2, I can hear my soda can, the carbonation in my soda can. And 3, I can hear the sound of my computer going. 2 things you can smell, so you would just name 2 things you can smell, like your perfume or your lip gloss or your drink or whatever. If you're outside, smells outside, and such. And number 1 is 1 thing you can taste, like your saliva or your lip gloss, or take a drink, your drink, so on and so forth. So again, like the 3-3-3 rule, focusing on this is going to lessen that anxiety attack because you are focusing on these specific things. The next one is called the Violet technique, and it's a visual technique. So if you're not a very visual person, this might not be something for you. But if you are, this might be great. A lot of us, before we go to sleep, have wandering thoughts. Like, our thoughts go everywhere. Now, this ain't much help for an anxiety attack. Well, it could be. So you're going to file whatever is happening. Let me explain. I have to read it to you physically. So, number 1 is to close your eyes and imagine a table with file folders and a file cabinet on it. Okay. Number 2, imagine yourself picking up each file and writing down the name of a thought that's racing through your mind. Example: the fight you had with your spouse, the presentation you have to give tomorrow at work, or the fear you have of getting sick with COVID-19. Number 3, once the name is on the file, take a moment to acknowledge the thought and how important it is to you. Then file it away. Repeat this process with every thought that pops into your head until you start feeling calmer, or if you're trying to fall asleep, until you feel sleepy. So the whole thing with this is that the idea of this exercise is that taking a moment to name your triggers, examine them, then consciously put them aside with a deadline to tackle them later. In other words, you're validating your own feelings and making plans to deal with them one by one when it's a better time. So that's the whole thing about the file it technique. It can actually be very helpful. Some people do a little room in their head that is locked, nobody else can get in, and there's a shelf and they put it up on a shelf and leave it there for another time. You know, there's different ways that you can do this tech. If you're a very visual person, it helps a lot. So it might sound weird, but I've had to do that technique and it actually did make me feel calmer because, again, you're focusing on what you're doing than the anxiety that you're feeling, that racing heart, that hyperventilation, and, you know, all that you're feeling. You're focused on the thoughts in your head and getting rid of them. Just give it a try. See if it works. This whole thing, it's about finding what works for you, you know? That's the big thing. I can give you tips, but you have to take them and find out what stuff works best for you. So the next one is finding something funny to watch, or remembering something funny that happened, or finding some way to make you laugh. Because when you're in an anxiety attack, you are so tense, you're freaking out, you know, you're worried, you're scared, you're out of control. So to think of something funny can break that. To watch a comedy sketch, that can really help actually, because it'll break that barrier down and get you kind of back to a normal state, kind of grounding you and reminding you, hey, we're still here, we're gonna be okay. But did you just hear what he said? Like, type of thing, right? Okay. Then we're gonna talk about grounding. So pretty much what grounding is, and I'm gonna read this straight from what I was sent from my group therapy instructor. So grounding you can think of as centering, distracting, creating a safe place, or a healthy detachment. So some things you could do is play a categories game with yourself, like think of type of dogs. So a while back I told you guys to do this mindfulness exercise. So pretty much what you do is write down the alphabet in a row on a piece of paper, and with each letter think of something you're thankful for. And you can write as many on each line as you want, but they have to start with that letter. So like A, I'm thankful for AC/DC, and I'm thankful for, let's see what I actually wrote, my audience. B, Bon Jovi. C, cat, candles, Christmas. D, Def Leppard, dance, my dad, and so on. So that's a thing you can do to get your mind from that panic state and bring you back to the present moment. Because when you're in that heightened state, you are kind of in a limbo where everything's going to trigger you. You're just going to continue to panic. You can count to 10 or say the alphabet, but be very slowly with it. Run cold water under your hands. There's also a skill called tip where you can actually splash water on your face. That's actually a very helpful skill. You could touch various objects. Like I continuously touch my necklace. My necklace is a very important object to me, and it always ends up making me feel better when I'm starting to feel my anxiety come on. You can also clench and release your fist. So there's one skill that I learned where you can clench your fist and then clench your arms and let go, and then clench your upper body and let go, and do the same on your lower body. Do your feet and then your legs, and then do your lower body, and then do your entire body and let go. Like doing each section of your body first. If that just made sense, I hope it did. You can also remember words to an inspiring song, quotes, or a poem that will make you feel better. You can grab tightly onto your chair as hard as you can and notice the sensations and the experience. So you can do a lot of different things with grounding. But the thing is, again, is you got to practice these things and you got to find what works for you, okay? And the last few things are, of course, music. Music's going to be a big thing. Sing along with it. Put on a song that gets you going and sing along with it. Like me, I'm going to put on Justin Timberlake's Sexy Back, and I'm going to sing to that because that's got a groove and it's going to get me going. So throw that on. Talk to somebody. Something that really helps me when I'm in an anxiety attack is for somebody to sit down with me, tell me, Sarah, breathe. Normally I hate that, but when they start breathing, when they really start elaborating with their breathing, it's going to get me to start copying their breathing. So if they're heavily breathing like and then they're like, Sarah, do it with me, come on. And I'll copy them, and it's going to slow my breathing down. That helps me a lot, and it's calmed me down from a lot of bad anxiety attacks where I'm like crying type of anxiety attacks. On the floor, shaking, trembling, bad, almost calling an ambulance type of hyperventilating anxiety attacks. Also, the last one is distraction. Finding things to watch or music, anything, painting your nails. I don't know. I don't think you could probably do that, but going out and doing a jog or fast walk, getting that heart rate going, finding something to focus on that's going to take your mind off of that anxiety attack like we've talked about with everything else we've already talked about, and getting your mind on something else. So those are the tips I have for you today. I hope they help you in any way. Let me know if you try any of these and how they do for you, if they help you at all, if they don't, if you try them and do something different with it. Let me know how you do with any of these. Now, there's one thing I want you guys to do. So again, I told you guys a while back I had you do a mindfulness exercise. Well, I got another one for you. So the mindfulness exercise I want you guys to do today is the GLAD technique. G-L-A-D, GLAD. So G, you're going to write down grateful. L, underneath that, you're going to write down learned. A, underneath that, you're going to write accomplished, and D, underneath that, you are going to write delight. So, under grateful, I want you to write down what you are grateful for. Under learned, what have you learned recently? Accomplished, what have you accomplished recently? And delight, what has delighted you recently? What has brought you joy? So, for example, I will give you mine. So, recently, I've been grateful for my support system, especially because, again, I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary of my overdose. I'm so proud of myself, and I couldn't have done it without my support system. Learned my DBT skills and coping skills. It is that and what I've learned in my setup of my YouTube. So I have a few things, and you can write down a few things as well. Accomplished, at the time I was at 1.3k subs on YouTube. So this was a little bit ago. I was waiting for the right video to do it. And delight, I wrote music. music brings me a lot of joy. So that's what I want you guys to do. Let me know if you liked it, what your guys' opinions of it was, if you guys tried it, if you want to share what you guys wrote in the comment section or email me about it. I will be overjoyed reading it. So again, my email's always in the description box down below. I also have a P.O. box that's always in the description box as well if you want to send a letter. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe and well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.